Well, I'm terrible at talking to the camera like this. So welcome back to my channel, and for those that haven't seen me before, I'm Emma. I'm from Scotland. I haven't traveled for the last year because my mother was sick. For those that know, my mother was very sick last year, so I spent most of the year taking care of her, and she passed away sadly. So this is me finally getting back into travels. So I am in Jerusalem now. I spent the last six weeks, I think it is now, 6 weeks, traveling around the West Bank, Palestine. So I've been using Jerusalem as a base to come back and forth to. So this is me just back here. I have a load of videos to come out about basically about the last 6 weeks I've been traveling around. I just wanted to do a quick explanation of what's coming up. So and if anyone's thinking of coming to travel here, whether you should come and travel here, whether you shouldn't come and travel here, it's not the easiest place to travel right now. So when I first came here, initially I came to volunteer in Hebron at an education center teaching English. So that was the motivation to come here, was to do this volunteering thing. So I did that for a week, and I just got sort of sucked into this country. I really like it, the people, and I've spent a lot of time traveling around. I've been in refugee camps. I stayed for 5 days in a refugee camp outside Bethlehem. I've been to a village in the countryside in Massafa Yatta. There's a village there that's constantly under harassment from the settlers that have built their own town next door, which was really interesting, but also really sad. Interesting because the activists that are there are Jewish Americans that are there to protect the villagers from the settlers. It's really complicated, but these are all going to be in my videos coming up. So it's astounding, this country. I mean, I'd heard things online. Everybody's seen things and heard things, and so many people I know just think that all these things started after October 7th. These things have been going on for years here. This country just divided with giant walls, walls dividing families, dividing communities. People can't see their families sometimes for a long time because there's a wall built in between them. The unemployment rate is ridiculously high because since October 7th, a lot of people used to come to Jerusalem to work, but that requires permits, and they can't get permits anymore. So it's really difficult for people to move around. The checkpoints are insane. I've experienced checkpoints, both kinds of checkpoints, being in a vehicle, a bus, and by foot. One time when I was in, was it the bus? It was in the bus coming back from Ramallah. The guy told me to put my bags through the machine 3 times, the x-ray machine, and they got his phone out and said that there was a knife in my bag. I didn't have a knife. I don't travel with a knife. But they showed the picture, and I said it's not mine. They got the police to come over. The police made me empty my bag. It took a long time. There was no knife, obviously. But these things, I don't know if it's a photo that they have just as an excuse to go through people's stuff. I don't know. But for Palestinians, they don't need an excuse. They just go through their stuff, search them, pat them down, anything they want, whenever they want. Another incident at a checkpoint was a woman soldier. My bag was in the back of the car, in the boot, and she was rifling through my backpack, and I can't do anything. You cannot get out your car at these checkpoints because you'll get shot. You could get shot. There's signs that says do not get out your car. So I wouldn't even dare to open the car door. There's numerous loads of armed soldiers around the area. So, and a lot of these soldiers I've seen, like when we went down in Hebron, when we were going to the village, they just carry these guns. Like there was a woman sitting at the checkpoint like this with her gun, and she was actually sleeping like this on the gun. A lot of them, they're texting all the time, half asleep. It's just truly bizarre. You'll see lots of people walking around with rifles slung over their shoulder, just walking around in the shops, in the bars and everything. Apparently it's their service weapon and they have to take it home with them. A lot of them take it home with them, so they just carry it even when they have their plain clothes on, which I thought was really weird the first time I saw that. Yeah, and when you come here, you'll see yourself what it is like to live under occupation. It is horrible. You know, Israel controls the water. They get water sometimes maybe twice a month. So Israeli homes, these settlements that are all over the place, the settlements that are infringing on the closer and closer to the Palestinian neighborhoods and everything. They're just gradually expanding by the looks of it. They don't have water tanks on the top of their homes because they have water 24/7, but the Palestinian homes do not, so they have water tanks on the top. So that's how you can always tell a Palestinian village from Israeli one, because of the water tanks that they have to have in case the water runs out. These settlements are under international law. These settlements are illegal, but these settlers, especially in the village that I was in, they just come through. They ripped up olive trees that the villagers planted one night. They came through the night and they ripped up the olive trees. They come and they harass the residents. That's why the Americans are there to protect, protective presence, they call it, activism, protective presence activism. So I stayed there I went twice, I stayed there, and it was a shock to me to see how many Americans were actually there, Jewish Americans that were there to help these villagers from these settlers. I'm sure you saw that movie, well maybe you didn't, but that movie that won the Oscar, it's the same area there. What else? So entering the country I had no problems, but I know a lot of people that did have problems. They got questioned a lot. They got everything. They got searched. A couple of people that came to volunteer, they had like literally everything got searched, every pocket, everything. And a couple of people that were coming that had Muslim names, they were denied entry. Quite a few people were denied entry. One girl from Malaysia came, she got questioned for 12 hours, strip searched and sent back. She wasn't allowed entry. Some people will only be getting 2 weeks entry, depending on your travel history or the person at the time. I was really lucky that they didn't even open my passport. So I had no questions asked, but that seems to be an exception to the rule. And as far as leaving goes, a lot of people have had a lot of questions on leaving as well. I haven't left yet, so I don't know what's going to happen then. I think maybe I have like 15 videos, no more than that, I don't know, coming out. And I was going to, like I said, I can't remember, I was going to wait till I left the country to upload, but everybody's telling me just to upload them now while I'm here. And you know, if anybody has any suggestions of me to go anywhere else, I really don't know where else to go. Maybe I'll go up to Haifa. I have a contact there. I'm not sure. I mean, I've been to Bethlehem, not really the religious places, but just to see the wall and stayed at the camp there. I was in Al Fawar camp where we did some teaching of English, and while we were there, the army came in and started shooting. They just started shooting guns outside the window. It's crazy, and it's just like Nablus. I went to see a refugee camp there. That was just horrific. The people in Nablus were super funny, but you'll find that here. The people still have their sense of humor, but don't mistake that for that they don't care or about what's going on. They said that they have to have a sense of humor, otherwise they'd go crazy, which I completely understand. So they're very resilient, these people, because they've been going through this for years, for a long, long time. Just things are getting a lot worse, and it's just heartbreaking again to see everything that's still going on in Gaza. When I came here, the ceasefire was in effect, but in the last week it's not in effect anymore, so they're bombing the shit out of Gaza again. And occasionally you'll hear air raid sirens going off here, but nobody really bothers. I don't know. It's kind of like in Ukraine, nobody bothered then when they heard the air raid sirens going off. But it's not the easiest place to travel around. The checkpoints can take a long time. In Hebron, for example, there's 8 exits into the city. There's 8 gates, exits, and the military, they just shut checkpoints randomly with no notice, just to control the people. We were driving around trying to leave Hebron, and you know, drive to one checkpoint, it's closed, so we have to drive around to another one, it's closed. So people are like this, trying to get out of the city or trying to get back. So people, a lot of people don't make their jobs on time because of these stupid checkpoints. Every aspect of their life is under control of Israel, and it has been like that for years. It's just crazy. It's mind-boggling that this is going on in this day and age somewhere. It's just crazy. I can't even believe it. But you'll see glimpses of everything in my videos coming up. Also I went to, let me move this around a bit. I'm on the balcony at this hotel. I'm waiting to check in because it's busy. It's Ramadan time right now, so the place is really busy. I spent most of my time in East Jerusalem, but they had no hotels there, so I'm in West Jerusalem now, on Jaffa Street. But I'll head over to East Jerusalem later. What the hell was I going to say again? So when you come in, they will not stamp your passport. You have to apply for an ETA, an electronic travel authorization. And when you get to the airport, you go to a machine and you'll print out one. This is your visa basically. So you keep this in your passport at all times. I can't find a proper place to do this, so I'm going to go back here, back behind the tree here. I've not met many tourists. I've met some people that came to volunteer at the places in Hebron. There's quite a few places that you can volunteer, but they're not all created equal. Listen to the tram down there. I'm on Jaffa Street. I might go to Haifa. Yeah, I'm not sure. Any ideas, let me know. So I'm going to put this one out first before all the other ones come out. I'm not quite sure how long I'll be here. I keep saying I'm going to leave. I'm supposed to go to India. I still have my Indian visa, so by now I had planned to be in India, then Pakistan, and then Afghanistan. I'm not sure. I'm doing my usual. I get stuck in one country, and that's my usual MO. So yes, it's not the easiest place to travel to, and I don't know what to say. I just came here to see for myself what it's really actually like, and show you guys what it's actually like. I know I have been very quiet on Instagram because I posted one reel in Hebron of some kids dancing, and I got like really, really bad messages. Really, really bad. Really like death threats. I got people sending me death threats if I set foot in Israel. Trolls. I've enjoyed my stay. It's been eye-opening and heartbreaking at the same time. I hope you enjoy my videos, my vlogs. I used a different camera, and the camera has a mind of its own, so I apologize if some of the footage is shit, like the color. It just clicks on it. I was using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I don't normally use that because it's fairly new, and I haven't done this for so long, so the camera is a bit messed up in some of my videos. Alright guys, so that's about it for travel in what I've been doing the last few weeks, why I've been not uploading, which I am now, why I haven't uploaded anything on YouTube, because people told me not to, and then people told me I should not. The guys, met some guys from working for the United Nations in Gaza, and they told me that I should upload things, because once they're out there, they're out there. I'm just going to upload things. I was at protests last weekend, protests outside Netanyahu's home, all local Israelis protesting against the war, to stop the war, that he's a war criminal, and all these things. But didn't really get violent, but there was a couple of scuffles at times with the local people, with the local Israelis and the soldiers, police, but nothing really violent there. But the protests are every day now, either there or outside Parliament. They're having protests to end this war. So yeah, it's crazy times here and very sad. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to me. I hope I didn't talk a load of shit. I hate these videos, these ones. So I will be back to traveling from now. Consistency. Okay, bye.